Hi, and welcome to PixelPia AI. Today I had planned to do a video about how I work with my different voices in ChatGPT. But then MidJourney and version 7 released the Omni Reference, which is similar to the character reference in 6.1, but you can include more than just characters. So I have played around a little bit with it, but I'm far from understanding it. But I thought we could take a look at it together and see what is possible, because I think that this will make a big change for MidJourney users. So let's move over to my computer. So let's start on the updates page and see what they say about Omni Reference real quick. Today, we're beginning testing a new image reference system we call Omni Reference. This system can duplicate much of the previous functionality of character reference in V6, but it's also capable of much more. Omni Reference can be best thought of as a system saying, hey, hi, put this in my image. It can work for characters, objects, vehicles, or non-human creatures. On the web, you have to use model V7, and on the Discord, it tells you how to use it. There's an omni weight parameter called --OW. There's a slider in the web UI which controls how strictly it adheres to your image reference. The parameter goes from 0 to 1000. 100 is default. If you want to change the style of the image, such as a photo to anime, you should lower the weight, for example, omni weight 25. If you want to make sure that the character's face is extremely visible, or that their clothes are preserved, you should try something higher like omni weight 400. Both stylize and exp, which is experimental atmosphere, almost like stylize, compete for influence over the image with omni reference. So if you have a high stylized or exp value, you must also use a higher corresponding omni weight value. A person / stylized 1000 -- omni weight 400 and -- exp 100. Please note, if you aren't using extremely high stylized and exp, you should probably never want to go over moderate values of omni weight, like omni weight 400, or things may actually be worse. Omni reference should work with personalization, stylization, style reference, and mood boards. If you want a character to hold a sword in an image, please make sure that you say that in your prompt, a character holding a sword, for example. If you want to style transfer a character and have low omni weight, please make sure to over-specify the parts of your character you want to preserve. An anime woman with blonde hair and red suspenders, for examples. Well, what can I say? Let's test it out. Let me first show you a couple of tests I did here. I used this image of myself, and maybe we should show where you find it. You click on this little image up here and you have either images you already uploaded, and I used this one for these tests, or you click here and you can upload an image from your computer. You also have to make sure that you have version 7 included here, and then you can change all the other settings. In this test, I have everything down to 0, so it shouldn't affect too much what I'm doing. And I choose a 2x3 image size. So as I said, I used the same prompt in all, I just changed the omni reference weight. A woman with gray short hair and glasses sitting in a modern family room on a plush couch reading a book. And these first 4 is with the default value Omni Reference 100. This is the image I used, and now let's take the results when I used Omni Reference 100, which is the standard. This is the first one, isn't very much look like me, but it kept the clothes, and I'm sitting on a plush sofa. Out of these, I don't think any of them was really looking like me. And as you can see, it's a bigger variation in the clothing and the surroundings. Let me scroll up here to this one. Here I used Omni Reference 200, and none of these really, maybe this could look like me, not the glasses, but as you see, version 7 has sometimes problems with things like hands and feet, and we will see that in several of these images. Then I turned up the Omni Reference, as you can see here on the side, to 400 and got somewhat better results, but still not look like me. And here we have 600, and maybe this one could do for my image. At 800 it gets quite different, and maybe this could pass for me. Here is 1,000, and now the face is pretty accurate, but it changes the image quite a lot, as you can see. And sometimes I even get double glasses, and the noses and fingers are a little weird, but it's still acceptable, I would say. Then I wanted to compare this with version 6, so I went back to version 6.1, used the same prompt and the same style, the same character reference, and none of these look like the reference. This is probably the best one, and these 4 were with a character reference of 50. Then I turned it up to character reference 100 and got not very much better results, I must say. I have found that I very often get the best results when I have an Omni weight around 400, 500. Let's try another one. And as you can see, they have changed the layout a little bit here. Image prompt, style reference, and Omni Reference. You can grab one of your images here. Let's try this one and drag it up to the right. If I just click on that image now, it will end up here in image prompts, and I don't know how many times I have done. So instead of dragging, I have taught myself to start by clicking in the Omni Reference, so that is highlighted, and then click my image. You can also see here it has a little slider. If I click on that, it's set to 100, which is default. I prefer to write it in the prompt itself. I have also come to see that you don't need to be too detailed in your prompt. So let's try this. A woman with short gray hair and glasses standing on a sidewalk in a busy city. If I want the whole picture, the whole woman in there, I usually add clothing, wearing a red dress and sandals. And the sandals is important here because that shows that I want to see the feet. And then in this case, we do Omni weight of 100, which is the default. And while MidJourney is working, let's use the same text, the same reference, and do it with Omni weight 500, just to get a bigger jump. And as I said, I have gotten better results when it comes to likeness of the image I uploaded with 400 and 500. But let's look at this. That might go for me. And feet looks decent. Could pass for me, I believe. The face here is definitely me. I don't know about the rest, but that looks a little weird We have a lot of those. And face looks like me. The hair is a little different here, a little longer. But it's acceptable, depending on how close to the image you want to be. And this was with the Omni weight of 100. Now let's take a look at the 500. Hairstyle is a little different, but it actually looks pretty good. That definitely looks like me, and hands looks okay, feet looks okay. It's a little windy here, my hair got a little wild, but the rest looks acceptable. And I guess the same goes for this. So this time we had 2 decent results. Let's try with another image. Oh, let me show you. Here is one. I think this is transparent background. So let's show you a woman with short gray hair and glasses wearing a flowery flowing dress and sandals again, and do Omni weight 100. Oh, I didn't put her in an environment. Okay, let's see. That's okay, because what I wanted to show you here is when you have a transparent image, it doesn't put a background in if you don't tell it to. But let's do this again, standing on a beach, and increase the Omni weight to 400. So here, when I didn't explain the environment, we have just black background, similar to the image we uploaded. And I guess this could definitely be me. And feet and hands looks okay. This looks a little weird, a little crooked. And did she have one sock on and one barefooted? Well, I guess that could happen. And here is the one where we added the beach, and in a couple of them they added something looking like a background. That could definitely pass for me. The eyes look a little weird, but this gets added white outline and then some sand here. And here, okay, I guess we have a little sand down here. Looks like these sandals is falling apart, but the face looks okay if you don't look too close. And the last one here with 400, that's a very distorted face, I must say. And I don't know what this is supposed to be. And that's a very distorted face too. Enjoy it. So that's what happens if you upload an image with no background. Let's go back to this one that we used. See, I did it again from the start, and say a woman. This time I want to try and change the style. So let's say an oil painting of a woman with white hair and glasses walking in a forest. And we start with Omni weight 100, and we will do it again, the same prompt, with this time Omni weight 500. And as you can see, I didn't specify the short hair. So for Omni weight 100, it doesn't look very much like my face and my haircut, and none of them really looks like an oil painting. The same at Omni weight 400, but we're gonna add short hair, short white hair, and this time we're gonna lower the Omni weight to 25, which they said if you wanted to change type of imagery. Short white hair, walking in a forest, Omni weight 25. And let's see if we can get a oil painting this time. It's hard to say before it's totally rendered, but it actually looks like it turned it into an oil painting here. But as you can see, the effect of that is that the likeness with me is almost totally gone. Maybe that could pass for me, but it looked as an oil painting. Let's try these. We had best results with this prompt a woman with grey short hair and glasses sitting in a modern family room on a plush couch reading a book. And let's say Omni weight 500, which has worked better. But this time turn personalization on. The global. I have my mood boards down here, but I'm not going to use them. But I'm going to use my default mood board and see how that changes anything. So here we have the images, and it doesn't show us here what it was. Omni Reference 500, I think. That could pass for me, maybe not. That could maybe pass for me. So as you can see, there is hit and miss, and I must say, except for this one where the hands got a little mangled, I lost a finger there. I must say that compared to when I tried it the other day, the hands and faces are much better than they were. So there you have it, the new Omni Reference. I am not sure how to really prompt for it yet, what values to use when, but I think it's something that have possibilities to be great. And when we compare the results of Omni Reference to the results in version 6 with the character reference, I must say that there is a better likeness. Unfortunately, for now, you can only use one image as an Omni Reference. I hope maybe in the future we can use more than one. I am curious about what will come out of this. It's still in the early stages, and I'm sure it will be much better in the future. Just in the few days I have played with, I have seen an improvement. Okay, that was me playing in MidJourney. In my next video, we will go back to ChatGPT and my creation of voices. I will show you how I use the different voices and how I even can get them to interact with each other, which can give some really funny results. So if that is something you're interested in, make sure you are subscribed, and I hope to see you here very soon. Until next time, as always, stay creative. Bye!